Good morning, everyone. So far, we have covered 15 lectures in these principles of organic farming. In this duration of this course, I hope you have learned various aspects of organic farming, from the starting of history to its practices, its standards, products that has been used for organic production, and various types of organic farming information we have learned. And today we are going to learn about organic certification, procedures required, certification agencies in India, labeling, marketing and export opportunities for these organic farming products. Okay, let's see what is certification. I can say if you are going to have a good marks, we are getting certain certificate that I have got A grade. Okay, if you have been passed with A plus, they are going to certify with you A plus. Likewise, organic certification is a system, a quality assurance initiative which is intended to assure quality, prevent fraud and promote commerce based on set of standards and ethics. We are going to remove the fraud in this. Okay, it is a process certification for procedures of organic food and other organic plant products. In general, I can say that certification means the farm and the farmer's methods are going to be inspected by an organic certifying group to ensure that they comply with guidelines on organic farming. Whether the farmers are following the systems or the standards of organic farming or not. Some people were going to, with the farmers who were producing or who were cultivating the organic farming, and they were going to inspect that field whether they are following the norms that has been given by NPOP. Okay, that is nothing but certification, and they are going to give a certificate that is completely an organic product. Okay, each certifying group has a code of standards which is available to interested people. Certification is a procedure by which a third party gives written assurance that a product, process or services is in conformity with certain standards. Not only the certification is the key to National Organic Program, the certification process focuses on the methods and materials used in production of the organic products. Why this certification is needed for organic production? It gives the third party assurance from producers to the consumer, which is separated by a distance. For uniform label, it means whether it was organic product or not. If it was organic product, which standards they have followed. To give a uniform label for the products, the certification is needed. Assurance to the consumers that its concern for healthy food has been addressed. As customers want to believe that it has been organic, for that also this certification helps the customers to believe that it has been certified organic product. Effective marketing tool for image, credibility, visibility or transparency. This certificate or certification process will help as a good marketing tool for getting high like branded products or any image products. It means which is having credibility or transparency in this market. Okay, likewise this certification is going to be useful for the farmers. I have mentioned here with third party. Let's see what is the third party. It is an organic certifying agent which evaluates producers, processors and handlers to determine whether they conform to an established set of operating guidelines called organic standards. Okay, this third party might be any of the agencies or evaluator, we can say. It means who is going to be inspect. Of them we are going to call them as third party. Those who conform or certified by the agents and allowed to use a logo, product statement or certificate to document their product as certified organic. products. Okay, this third party is going to assure that the products are going to be labeled with any of the logo that might be used after certifying that all the products has been completely organic. Then they can use a certificate, or they will give certificate to document their product as certified organic products. This is about why we need certification and what is meant by certification. Let's move and see about accreditation. I hope everybody have listened what is meant by accreditation. Suppose in terms of education, you all are studying in certain college which is affiliated or accredited by some agencies or some trust. Okay, that might be national, NAAC, NAC we can say, National Accreditation Board for education purpose. Likewise, or it may be TNU affiliated, TNU accredited, we can say. It means some main body is going to be give some branches under that for examining or for checking the progress of small agencies. Okay, for that this accreditation is going to be useful. Let us see what were the accrediting agencies in this organic farming. As per the National Program for Organic Production, National NPOP means National Program for Organic Production, and accreditation refers registration by the accreditation agency for certifying organic farms, products and processes as per the guidelines of the National Accreditation Policy and Program for Organic Product. What this accreditation will be doing? It guarantees that the certification program is competent to carry out specific tasks. And also authoritative body defines policies, standards and checks whether the certification system is operating according to standards or not. These accreditation bodies are going to check whether the systems are in correct process or not. Various accreditation programs, National EU EN 45011, ISO number 65, IFOAM, NPOP, NOP, JS are different accreditation programs that has been present in this organic farming. In context of Indian accreditation scenario, National Program for Organic Program define the function of accreditation agencies like package of practices for organic product, accreditation of inspection and certifying agencies. It also monitors the inspection. It helps to lay down inspection procedures. It advises the national steering committees. We have seen about accreditation. Now we are going to see types of certification. Let's see what were the types of certification. Foreign certification, co-certification and indigenous certification. What is meant by foreign certification? The inspection and certification of export-oriented organic projects in developing countries are certified by the certification bodies based in importing countries. Okay, it means if the products is going to be exported from our country to other countries, the importing country, it means which was accepting our products, that certification bodies are going to be verify our products for whether our products has been reached their standards or not. The main disadvantages is that cost of certification are high due to frequent plane trips and western salaries. Okay, this was the disadvantage for this, but for foreign exchange it was good as our products are going to be followed a good standards of production. Next one, co-certification. Local branch officers of Western certification programs conduct inspection along with local inspection staff who speak local languages and familiar with local conditions. It was also a certification agency, but here they were going to use local people in their local language for reachable to the farmers. Okay, however, inspection work is supervised by the head office. The people might be local, but the people will be guided by the supervised by the head office. This reduces number of plane trips. Okay, if the certification process is by local people, then there will be reduce in cost. Okay, indigenous certification is the another certification type. Indigenous certification bodies can usually offer cheaper inspection fees as less traveling is required and only local salaries have to be covered. It means those who come, it means they have to afford for them only, so that the cost automatically reduces as there is no need of any trips for other countries. They support the development of domestic markets. In indigenous certification, they used to support our domestic markets. For export to the European Union market, a certificate from a certification body which is accepted by European Union competent authorities is essential. Okay, for exporting, their market certification agency should do the inspection for our products. To regulate the export of certified organic products, the Director General of Foreign Trade, Government of India, has issued a public notice according to which no certified organic products may be exported unless they are certified by an inspection and certification agency duly accredited by one of the accreditation agencies designated by Government of India. If any of the products that were not going to be certified under Indian government, it was not going to be exported to other countries. Only after certification process and inspection, then only we can export the products to other countries. Okay, this was about the types of certification. We have seen till now that what is certification, what is accreditation bodies, and how it's going to be inspect our fields. And now we are going to see the steps in certification, how this certification process starts and ends up with what. Let's see it. Identification of suitable certifier. First one is about we have to choose the certifier which was suitable for our organic product cultivation. The producer or farmer makes contact with certifying agencies. Before starting our products, they are going to tie up with some certifying agencies. These certifying agencies gives information on standard fields application, inspection, certification and appeal procedures for completion of the certification process. Next thing, submission of an application. After identification of a suitable certificate, then we are going to take a step for submission of an application. In this, we have to submit application along with field history, farm map, record keeping system and some other required materials for that submission of an application. After that, there will be a review of application. It means whatever the application we have kept, they are going to review our application and they will give the result according to the presence of that field. Okay. Next one is about on-farm inspection. In this on-farm inspection, people were going to come field and they were going to inspect our field whether the farmer is following NPOP standards or not, whether they were following organic standards or not. Okay, then they will give a final review. The outcome of the review may be approval for organic certification. It might be request for additional information, and it might be notification of non-compliance and denial of certification. They might give any of these following words. It means if our farm is going to reach that organic standards by given by NPOP, then they might be approve our products as organic, complete organic. Okay, if they are not going to accept our terms or products which we have used, they are not going to certify our farm as organic certification. Okay, then they will request for additional information. It means if there is any lack of giving information in that form, then they will ask for the additional information from our field. Notification for non-compliance and denial of certification. If our farm is not have not reached the organic standards, then they will deny the certification for our farm. If certification is granted, the producer can begin marketing his or her product. Okay. As organic, the producer is free to use the seal of certifier. Examples of non-compliance may include, I have said the results may be notification of non-compliance also. If the producer is free to use the seal of certifier, and some of the examples of non-compliance may include inadequate records of manual application, equipment clearing on farms where conventional production is also done, and compost preparation. A farm that has had chemicals used on it and is in first or second year of transition to organic production cannot be granted certification because the land must be free from prohibited pesticides and fertilizers for a minimum of 3 years. Transition period is nothing but the field is going to be transformed from conventional to organic production, cultivation of the crops. Okay, the period which is required for conversion of from conventional to organic is called transition period. The contract indicating scope, obligation, inspection and certification, sanction and appeals, duration, fee structure is executed. The cost of certification depends on size of farm, type of production system, group of farmers, location of unit, travel time to reach the inspection site, and cost for travel, food and accommodation during inspection. These were going to be an example for non-compliance. Okay, the farm has to undergo inspection at least once a year. If our farm is going to be converting into organic, then at least once a year inspection should be done in our farm. Inspectors verify that organic practices such as long-term soil management, buffering between organic farms and neighboring conventional farms, and record keeping are being followed. The processing inspections include review of facilities of clearing and pest control methods, ingredient transportation and storage, record keeping and audit control are going to be taken in this. The inspector evaluates the performance of farm activities with the help of farmer statements and records and by viewing the fields, animals and farm buildings. He can take samples for laboratory testing and may conduct unannounced inspections. The inspector transmits his or her findings to the certification body as a written report. After that, we are going to get final review and certification. The certification body compares the results of the inspection with the requirements of organic standards. Okay. After that, a certification committee decides whether certification may be granted or not, and then agency issues approval or denial of certificate. The certificate is given for current year's harvest only, and hence annual certification is required. As the certification is given once in a year, definitely they have to inspect their field once a year. The operator can request for reconsideration of decisions of denial of certificate if has valid reasons. If there is any valid reasons, we can ask for the reconsideration of the decisions. Let's see what is group certification. Majority of agriculture practitioners worldwide are small holders and are often located in remote areas with long travel times from one place to another. So that furthermore, the overall revenue from their agriculture production is usually too small to allow a viable farm inspection by external inspection body for each farmer. Based on this observation, an idea was generated to develop grower group certification, where group certification refers to the certification of a group of producers who are in close proximity to one another, whose farms are marketing uniform in most ways and who are organized under one management and one marketing system. For this, they are going to be formed as group certification. Follow group certification. Okay, according to NPOP, certification of an organized group of producers processors and exports with similar farming and production systems and which are in geographical proximity are going to be certified as group certification. It means people who are maintaining their farms in an equal proportion. It means if one farmer has been one method, the same method is going to be followed by another farmer in that group. That group is going to get group certification. Okay, that is known as group certification. Internal quality system. As per IFOAM and NPOP definition, internal control system is a documented quality assurance system that follows the external certification bodies to delegate the inspection of individual group members to a body identified from within the operators of the group. Okay, it means from external certification bodies to delegate the inspection of individual group members to a body identified from within the operators of the group. This can be legally recognized farmers association, cooperatives, NGOs or exporters or any of the project or a farmer group. This means in practice that a growers group basically controls all farmers for compliance with organic production rules according to denied procedures. The organic certification body then mainly evaluates whether the ICS is working well and efficiently. Okay, they were going to form a group. From that group, it means from the individual members are going to be inspected from by the external certification bodies. This can be legally recognized for farmers association, cooperatives and some of the NGOs. In practice, that a growers group basically controls all farmers for compliance with organic production rules according to defined procedures. It means whatever the produce they were producing, but they will be taking a part in that inspection and they were going to be guided by the some people in that group. The organic certification body then mainly evaluates whether the ICS is working well and efficiently. Here the certification agency evaluates the working of IQS and do random field inspection for verification. External certification agency delegates some inspection task to this group. Okay, certification is granted to group as a whole or one unit. Okay, the total group is going to be get one certificate granted to group as a whole as one unit. The ICS guards the integrity of organic quality of the products, particularly in smallholder projects. It is also a system in which all persons dealing with products, grower, buyers and storekeepers are identified, registered, instructed on the requirement of organic certification, and where large number of farmers are to be inspected by a foreign certification body. The involved cost may be very high in this IQS. In such cases, smallholder group certification can be done. Okay, if there is any cost, huge cost in that group, then they are going to be followed. Smallholder group certification can be done in that group. It is done for defined groups only, maybe up to 900 to 1000 farmers with similar farming and production system located in geographical proximity. It means at the same land, those farmers who are practicing the same conditions, it means same products in the same time, and whatever the first person is going to be followed, the second also will be following the same. Only one application is required to certify the entire farms of such smallholder group and the certification. An inspection fee is shared by each individual farmer operator. Contracted to ensure compliance, the activities of these persons are monitored by regular visits and documentary control. Besides this, the persons involved are made aware of their common responsibilities for the products, which imply certain social control. Developing countries are increasingly looking for ways to reduce certification cost and procedures in order to make certification more feasible for small farmers. ICS is alternative scheme which help group of small farmers to reduce cost and simplify procedures of internal inspection and certification. Here, the external auditor can invariably insist on physical inspection of all individual holdings, which is extending up to and above 4 hectares. It may also be noted that the number of units above 4 hectares should not exceed 50% of the total area under the group certification. Only 50% of that area should be considered in that group certification. We have seen various aspects of this certification, process of this certification, and now we are going to see about certification agencies in India. Before going to this, I wanted to say that how these certified agencies are going to be evaluate the farmers' fields. Okay, actually there is a standards for organic production which has been given by NPOP. The standards for organic production are notified in National Program for Organic Production by the Director General of Foreign Trade under the Foreign Trade Development and Regulation Act 1992. Under this act, it has been directed, which was National Program for Organic Production in the year 1992. The NPOP has a system wherein certification bodies are accredited with National Accreditation Body, which is nothing but NAB, National Accreditation Body, which is chaired by the Additional Secretary in the Department of Commerce. The Secretariat of the NAB, National Accreditation Body, is with APIDA. APIDA means Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority. APEDA means Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority. NPOP covers standards for crops and their product, livestock and poultry products, aquaculture, apiculture, and some other related to this terms. Okay, the exports from the country as per the provisions in NPOP. National Program for Organic Production has some silent features. I am going to say that I haven't mentioned here, so take a note on these points. NPOP launched during 2001, which laid the foundation for systematic development of organic agriculture sector in the country. NPOP is being managed by Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. It is the mainstay for quality assurance for organic agriculture products in India, operated through 28 accreditation certification bodies. Under this NPOP, there are about 28 accredited certification bodies are present. NPOP has grown almost 35-fold, starting from 42,000 hectare in 2003 to 4 to 145 million hectares during 2016 to 17. 35-fold this NPOP has been increased. All types of agriculture, horticulture and non-food crops are grown under organic certification process. Livestock, aquaculture, animal feed, processing and handling, mushroom production, seaweeds, aquatic plants and greenhouse crop production have also come under the ambit of organic certification. More than 4.45 million hectares area is under organic certification. How much was there under certification? 4.4 million hectares, comprising 144 million hectares under cultivation and 3.0 million hectares under wild harvest collection. India is producing wide range of crops under organic management with a total production of 11,80,105 million tonnes, which majorly covers oilseeds, sugarcane, cereal and millets, etc. Okay, Indian export kitty for organic food products is about $369.9 8 million, and domestic market accounts for approximately US dollars of 225 million. The major export destinators are Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, Pakistan, New Zealand, and Australia. The quantity exported to EU, USA, Canada, Switzerland, Pakistan, New Zealand, and Australia during 2016 to 17 were as the following: 124,398 million tons for Europe and 116,595 million tons for Canada and some other respectively. NPOP has equivalence with organic food regulations of Europe Union and Switzerland and a recognized agreement on conformity assessment with USDA. Transinet is an online application tool managed by TraceNet is an online application tool managed by APIDA under NPOP for management of entire organic certification system in the country. Okay, TraceNet is going to be used as online application tool for managing APIDA under NPOP for management of entire organic certifying system in the country. This is about the how NPOP is going to monitor the fields and how it's going to be accredited. I have repeating the word APIDA. This is nothing but Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export Development Agency is an apex body under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, which is responsible for the export promotion of agriculture products. The Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority was established by the Government of India under Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority Act passed by Parliament in December 1985. Through this act, it has been formed. In Parliament in December 1985, it has been started. The Act 2 of 1986 came into effect from 13 February 1986 by a notification issued in a Gazette of India. Okay, this was about APIDA, how it's going to be involved in certification process. Let's see some certification agencies in India. EcoCert International, based in France and Germany, branch office in Aurangabad, Maharashtra. IMO Control Private Limited, Institute for Marketology, based in Switzerland, office in Bangalore, Karnataka. Lacon GmbH, based in Germany, office in Alva, Kerala. SGS India Private Limited, based in Switzerland, office in Delhi and other cities. Based in it is nothing but of that it belongs to that country. Okay, SGS India Private Limited, based in Switzerland, office in Delhi and other cities. Bio Inspector, based in Switzerland, branch office in Cochin, Kerala. SGS India Private Limited, based in India, office in Bangalore. APOF Organic Certification Agency, AOCA, based in India, office in Gurgaon and Haryana. SKAL International, based in Netherlands, branch office in Mumbai. Indocert, based in India, office in Alva, Kerala. Indian Society for Certification, ISCOP, based in India, office in Coimbatore. These are some of the agencies that has been present for organic certification. Okay, now we are going to see what is meant by labeling. Easy recognition of organic quality and certification system, confirms the fulfillment of the label regulates and legal rules. They help to achieve a better price for organic products. Labeling is nothing but we are going to label the products according to the standards given by NPOP. If it has been reached the standards given by that and has been reached, the farms has been reached the standards of NPOP, then it's going to be labeled that it is completely organic products, and so that the price will be also increased for that organic products, and it fulfill the label regulations and legal rules. This is about labeling. In seeking organic products in the marketplace, consumers should look for the USDA organic seal or a certified name on the label. The US Department of Agriculture outlines 4 categories of organic labels based on the percentage of organic content in that product. Here I have to say that USDA handling requires some standards, okay, that USDA standards, the handling standards require all the non-agricultural ingredients, whether synthetic or non-synthetic, must be allowed according to the national list of allowed and prohibited substances. In a multi-ingredient product labeled as organic, all agricultural ingredients must be organically produced unless the ingredients is not commercially available in organic form and listed on section 205606. Okay, handlers must prevent the commingling of organic with non-organic products and protect organic products from contact with prohibited substances. They have to take some precautions without mixing these organic products with non-organic products. Okay, labeling multi-ingredient products. Product sold, labeled or represented as organic must have at least 95% certified organic content. If they are going to label any of the organic product under this USDA standards, that should be labeled that 95% of organic product should be present in that product. Products sold, labeled or represented as made with organic must have at least 70% certified organic content. The USDA organic seal may not be used on these products. Products containing less than 70% organic content may identify specific ingredients as organic in the ingredient list. It means whatever the products they have been used for cultivation for 70% organic content, that should be listed in the on the top layer. Okay, this means the first 3 categories are certified products under the USDA National Organic Program standards. This means that not only all the organic ingredients in processed products certified, but the facilities that handle and process the products are inspected and certified as well. The USDA seal, however, may only be used on products that are 100% organic and 95% organic. Okay, there are 4 different types of labeling. Here in this are 100% organic products produced using exclusively organic methods containing only organic ingredients are allowed to carry a labeling that declare 100% organic and may use the USDA organic seal. Here we can note that 5% must be non-GMO and on the national list. Okay, whatever the products that we are going to use this in this 100% organic, that should be present in list of national list of products. Okay, and next one, organic products produced using exclusively organic methods that contain at least 95% organic ingredients may use the USDA or organic seal. And third one, made with organic products with 70% to 95% organic ingredients may display made with organic with up to 3 specified ingredients or food groups on the front panel. The USDA organic seal may not be used. However, products in this category must be certified through the same USDA organic certification process that is required for 100% organic and organic label. Any non-organic ingredients used in the above labeling categories may not be produced using genetic engineering, irradiation or sewage sludge. Next one, ingredient panel. Products with less than 70% organic ingredients can only list the organic items on the organic production. Products produced using exclusively organic methods that contain at least 95% organic ingredients may use the USDA organic seal. This is about the various types of organic certification labeling in organic farming. Now we are going to see about marketing and organic food export in India. Here, the Indian government is committed towards encouraging organic food production. It allocated rupees 100 crore or USD 22.2 million during the 10th five-year plan for promoting sustainable agriculture in India. Agriculture and Processed Food Export Development Authority coordinates the export of organic food and other food products in India. The National Program for Organic Production in India was initiated by the Ministry of Commerce. The program provides standard for the organic food industry in the country. Since these standards have been developed taking into consideration international organic production standards such as Codex and IFOAM, Indian organic food products are being accepted in the US and European markets. APEDA also provides a list of organic food products exporters in India. Let me introduce that global scenario of organic farming. It is managed by 1.2 million farmers, 144 countries growing organic food. Australia has maximum land under organic farming. Organic animal husbandry 7.2% of the total organic product business. Argentina is largest exporter of organic beef. Largest organic egg consumer is Israel. India ranks at 33rd in world in terms of area under organic farming and ranks 88th in terms of ratio of agricultural land under organic crop to total farming area. India is the largest producer of organic cotton. In India, Madhya Pradesh has highest area under organic farming with 1.1 million hectare or 52%, followed by Maharashtra is at second 0.96 million hectare or 36.6%, and Orissa is at third with 0.67 million hectare or 9.7%. Uttarakhand and Sikkim are organic states. It means completely farmers were growing under organic only. Let's see the demand for Indian organic products in the domestic and export markets. I haven't mentioned here, so take important points from this. Let's see the domestic market. The domestic market for organic products is yet not as developed as the export market. It means local market not developed as the export market. The product available in the domestic market in organic quality are rice, wheat, tea, coffee, pulses, fruits and vegetables. Wholesalers or traders and supermarkets play major roles in the distribution of organic products. Current trading of Indian organic products in export market. India exported 86 items in last year, it means during 2011, with the total volume of 6,987 million tonnes. The export realization was around 157.22 million US dollars, registering 33% growth over previous year. Imports were directed mainly to Germany, the Netherlands and Switzerland. German and Dutch traders imported mainly spices, fruits, tea and nuts. Traders from the Netherlands imported the highest amount of sesame, while German traders imported the highest amount of tea. Swiss traders were involved mostly with the import of tea, cotton and very small quantities of organic spices. The Indian organic products that are traded in the selected market are shown in the different magazines. The values shown are total for each product across the different countries. Sesame is one product that is imported in higher volumes, followed by organic fruits. In third place come to the well-known Indian spices as black and white pepper, ginger and some other spices. Out of the varieties, higher amounts of black tea than green tea are imported. This is about the current trading of Indian organic products in export market. Let's see export market now. Indian organic producers and exports are aware of the demand for organic products developing in our countries. Products available for export market are rice, wheat, tea, spices, cashew nut, fruits and vegetables, cotton, seeds and medicinal herbs. The channels adapt for the export of organic products except for the mainly through export companies. Organic production is produced by major well-organized tea estates which are exporting tea directly. In the case of organic products, predominantly small farmers involved in producing organic products. These products are exported through exporting organic products are mainly exported to following countries in order of priority. If we see Indian products are exported and imported by Europe, Netherlands, United Kingdom, Germany, Belgium, Sweden, Switzerland, France, Italy, Spain. If you see in America, USA and Canada or the American states that importing our Indian products. Middle East, Saudi Arabia, UAE. Asia, Japan and Singapore. Australia, Africa, South America are also importing our Indian products. Global market for organic products. According to the Research Institute of Organic Agriculture and Organic Monitor, the global market for organic products in 2007 has been estimated at $46 billion, growing at around 20% since 1999. Demand for organic products are concentrated mainly in North America and Europe. According to Organic Monitor, these two regions comprise 97% of global revenues from sales of organic products. Now let's see the marketing opportunities and export potential of organic products in India. Now we have seen both export and import marketing and organic scenario of India. Let's see what was the opportunities for India. We had organic tea to export. Total world production of organic tea is estimated at around 20 million kgs. 2008, which represent a negligible less than 1% share of global tea production. India produced around 5 million kgs of organic tea in 2008, around 25% of world production. India is the largest producer and exporter of organic tea. Of the total organic tea production in the country, 90% is exported to Australia, Germany, Japan, UK and US. Darjeeling has the largest number of estates under organic cultivation, followed by Assam, Johor and South India. It also had organic coffee. The total world production of certified organic coffee is estimated over 1.5 million bags. It means 60 kg per each bag, okay, which amounts 90,000 tons of organic coffee valued at approximately $125 million. Organic coffee is mainly consumed by the developed countries, namely USA, Germany, France, Italy, Japan and other European countries. Together, the three developed markets of US, EU and Japan account for over 90% of world organic coffee consumption. India accounts for nearly 1% of the estimated world organic coffee market. The main geographical regions cultivating certified organic coffee are Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. Now let's see the potential organic products. Internationally, organic dairy and meat registered the strongest growth in all the major markets in the year 2007. In this year, organic dairy and meat products accounted for 21% and 12% of the total world product markets. Markets for organic livestock products in developed countries are increasing day by day. However, these growing markets also in the developing countries such as Argentina, Brazil, South Africa, China, and India. In the EU, Australia, Denmark, Germany, and UK are the largest consumers of organic livestock products. Besides, EU among the other, Europe among the developed countries, USA and Japan are significant markets for organic livestock products. Not only organic coffee, tea, we are also exporting organic textiles, organic cosmetics, organic beverages. There are different opportunities for India. Okay, as I have mentioned earlier, these are the different opportunities for exporting our Indian products to other countries. Organic products exported from India include the following. Already I have mentioned in before explanation part. Again I am repeating the products which has been exported from our India. Organic cereals, wheat, rice, maize or corn. Okay. Organic pulses, red gram and black gram. Organic fruits, banana, mango, orange, pineapple, passion fruit, cashew nut, walnut. Organic oil seeds and oils, soybean, sunflower, mustard, cotton seed and groundnut castor. Organic vegetables, brinjal, garlic, potato, tomato and onion. Organic herbs and spices, chili, peppermint, cardamom, turmeric, black pepper, white pepper and amla. Tamarind, ginger, vanilla, clove, cinnamon, nutmeg, mace or different crops that has been exported from our India. And others, jaggery, organic jaggery, sugar, tea, coffee, cotton, textiles are also has been exporting from our India to other countries. This is all about today's topic, that organic certification, process involved in that, types of certification, agencies present in India and procedure how we have to follow the certification process, and marketing and export agencies for organic products in India. If you are having any doubts regarding this topic, you can comment in the comment section. I'll clear your doubts. Thank you everyone.